just going through this podcast by Lex Friedman with the Telegram founder. See, there's something extremely insightful about such podcast, especially the podcast of Lex Friedman, the podcast of Joe Rogan. But when you look at the Indian podcast, we see all kinds of questions which are not related to freedom. Now, in this podcast, Lex Friedman is constantly asking the Telegram founder about his thoughts about freedom, how he manages to not give up to any government in the world, how he manages to secure Telegram, and it talks about a lot of philosophical and high moral standard questions. Now, you won't see that in Indian podcasts at all. Here, it's all about appeasement. We appease to the masses, we appease to the minority, we appease to the government, we appease to almost every category. It's not about thinking outside of the social structure. I wish Indian podcasts were having a lot of daring questions apart from the basic fundamental social structural questions. I wish we would have asked so many difficult questions which would generally make the masses uncomfortable. At the same time, the people in power, people in opposition, everyone uncomfortable. Now, this only happens when you have people willing to think courageously, people who are willing to think outside of what is the status quo, what is really accepted as something comfortable and friendly. So I think there should be more such podcast in India as well.